When it comes to considering the evaluation criteria of when, we will be focusing on how current and timely the information is. Ask yourself, when was the information produced? And is it current enough to meet my research needs? This evaluation criteria is less important for some topics, especially if you're researching historical topics, but for many research projects, this is a very important criteria to consider. While you're searching for resources, keep the format and publication cycle in mind to help guide you while you're considering the currency of the information included. For example, by the time a book is published, we know that the information included will be at least 1 year old, and at times even older. For the most current information, you will want to consider newspapers, magazines, and websites. Even peer-reviewed journal articles will include information over 1 year old. The good news is that if you find that a source that you want to use may be older than you would like, you can always supplement that source with other sources that cover more current information that you desire. Let's consider the following research question. What are the long-term effects on the fashion and beauty brands that have been accused of cultural appropriation? If we start out looking for books, we may not find a lot of books specific to the fashion or beauty industries. However, I may find some good options on cultural appropriation that offer general background information on the concept. But if I take a look at this book titled Cultural Appropriation, I can see that there is a chapter on fashion trends showing disrespect for culture. So this might be a good one to consider. When considering this book from the when evaluation, I see that the publication date is 2020, which is really recent. However, this book will only include information up to early 2019 at the latest, based on how long it takes for books to be published. So this book, even though it may be useful for some background information, will need to be supplemented with sources that are more current. We should look for some newspaper and magazine articles for more recent coverage that may include some of the more recent examples of fashion and beauty brands being called out for cultural appropriation. Let's try supplementing this search with articles out of the Business Source Complete database. Now that I'm in the Business Source Complete database, I'm going to be looking at industry-related periodical articles on this topic. And this time I did incorporate fashion or beauty into my search strategy because it's more likely for me to find articles that are a little bit more focused than the books would have been. When I'm focusing on the when evaluation criteria, I'm going to consider using the tools that are included in the database to help me. I'm going to change my search result sort from relevance to date newest. Now that I have the newer articles up towards the top of my list, I can see that there are several articles that have been published recently in the past month. These articles would then supplement the older information that I found in the book that I found in the catalog. Another approach to this particular research question would be to perform an internet search to identify specific brands that have been called out recently for cultural appropriation and perform brand-specific searches for more information. When evaluating your sources for the when evaluation criteria, be sure to consider any assignment requirements, especially if the assignment specifies that you must use sources published after a specific date, and be sure to use those database limiters to help you focus your strategy to save yourself some time.